Hello students, I am Reena. Welcome to Math Fam. So today we'll be taking our CBSE board PYQ questions from quadratic equation. We'll be discussing here top 10 questions. So you know that in quadratic equation it's a very important chapter because you will see from this chapter there can be 1 marker MCQ question, there can be 2 marker questions based on nature of roots or factorization, there can be 3 marker question, there can be case study question, and there can be 5 marker subjective question also, right? Nowadays we see that the 5 marker one question comes from quadratic equation. So let us see, we'll be taking only the subjective questions here. I'll be discussing top 10 different 2 marker, 3 marker, 4 marker and 5 marker questions, right? So let us start with the first question here, your first question here. So before we start this, you should know in any quadratic equation what are you going to remember here. Quadratic equation, the standard form is always ax square plus bx plus c is equals to 0, right? Because it's a highest power is 2. What is here? Degree is 2. That is why we call it as here this as the quadratic equation. Now you should know that there can be all these things you have to remember. Okay, so there can be upmost 2 zeros, right? 2 zeros means 2 solution, 2 roots, anything. So they can be upmost 2 means there can be 0 solution, there can be 1 solution, or there can be 2 solutions. Now based on number of zeros, you can draw the graph. The type of graph we get it in quadratic equation, we call it as here parabola, right? What is the meaning of parabola? There can be upward parabola. This is called upward parabola, and this is we call it as downward parabola, right? I'm just doing the quick recap so that you know what things will come in your quadratic equation. So which kind of graph do you get it here? Now there are 2 zeros, 1 0 or no zero. So how do we get it? This is upward parabola. If you take this as, this is all this sketching, okay, rough figure. Now you can see that your parabola is cutting x-axis at 2 places. So this can be alpha, this can be beta. So there are 2 zeros here. And when do we get upward parabola? You get upward parabola when your coefficient of x square, which is a, is greater than 0. Now the moment I say this, we'll see this in nature of roots also, right? Because when you are learning the graph, you should know nature of roots as well. What is the nature of roots here? Nature of roots means which kind of solution we get it. We call it as discriminant here. We call it as discriminant, which is represented by D. And whenever we have discriminant D, what do we write on here? B square minus 4AC, right? So B square minus 4AC, A, B, C here, A and B are the coefficient and C is the constant term. So there are 3 ways to do it here. One first case is b square minus 4ac. If it's greater than 0, then we will have 2 real distinct roots, right? Distinct means different roots. Distinct roots. Correct? Now, if it is equals to 0, then we have 2 real equal roots. Okay? So here we get 2 equal roots, and if it is less than, this is greater than 0. If b square minus 4ac is greater than 0, not greater than 2, right? So if b square minus 4ac is greater than 0, we get 2 real distinct roots. If it is b square minus 4ac is equals to 0, we get 2 real equal roots. Similarly here b square minus 4ac, if it is less than 0, we get no real roots. No real roots means, or sometime we call it as imaginary roots, right? We call it as imaginary roots. Now based on this also you can see the graph here. Because I am getting here 2 distinct real root, that means D is going to be greater than 0. Similarly, you can get downward parabola also. When we get the downward parabola here, we get downward parabola which is cutting x-axis as 2 places. That means there are 2 roots, alpha and beta, right? And we get, this is called downward parabola. Okay. Nowadays, I have seen sometime there is a case study question having graph based questions also. Now here it is downward parabola, you get it when a is negative or less than 0. Now what is the other type of graph you can get it here? So here also it's a D is greater than 0 because there are two real roots, right? Now if d is equals to 0, that means discriminant is equals to 0. Which kind of graph will be there? It can be upward or downward parabola, but it's going to touch x-axis at one places because here alpha is equals to beta, or there is only one root, right? Then here d is less than 0 means your parabola is not going to touch x-axis at any place, so it can be upward or downward. Here it's not going to touch the axis. Okay, here it has touched anywhere, right? Anywhere upward or downward parabola, because there's no solution, so graph is not going to cut the any of the axis, right? Other than that, what are you going to learn in quadratic equation? The solution. How are we going to solve it here? Quadratic equation. Here solving quadratic equation, you should know that there are two methods. One is factorization method. Now in factorization, you can follow splitting the middle term. Most of the time you take splitting the middle term, but using identity also it is possible. A plus b whole square, a minus b whole square when there are two equal roots. Or you use the quadratic formula. Right. So what is the quadratic formula here? We take it here. If your variable is x, then it is here ax square plus bx plus c equals to 0. That means a and a, b, c here coefficient of x, and here x square and x, and c is the constant term. So we take here minus b plus minus root b square minus 4ac by 2a. So these are the basics. Before you are solving this, you have to do quick revision, and then let us start doing the first question. What is your first question here? Here it says this is your first question, which is a 2-marker question. See, there are other 1-marker question. Already I have uploaded the video, but this is all subjective questions. So I will be sharing here top 10 subjective question based on quadratic equation. What does it say here? Find the discriminant means you need to find out the nature of root, which is d, right, of quadratic equation. So first in your answer sheet, write down what is the quadratic equation given here, equals to 0, and hence comment on the nature of roots, right? So what you will do here, from the equation there is no x term. So what is the value of a here? If you do the comparison with ax square plus bx plus c, a is 4, there's no x term, so b is 0, and c is the constant term, which is minus 5. Now how to get the nature of root here? You will write down here discriminant. We need to first find out the discriminant and then nature of root, which is capital D is always b square minus 4ac. So substitute here, b is 0, so it will be 0 minus 4 times minus 5, right? How will you get it here? Now whenever, remember, whenever there are two negatives, this is negative, we'll always get a positive value, because even number of negatives will always give you positive. So it is nothing but here positive 20 and it's a 80. Now 80 is greater than 0. So your discriminant is 80, right? Now here you can write down b square minus 4ac, which is equals to 80, is greater than 0. Here first you need to get the value of discriminant. So here you can leave b square minus 4ac is equals to 80, and then because it's equals to 80 means it's greater than 0, so you can write down here what is the nature of root here. Two distinct real roots, right? Two distinct real root. Distinct real roots, right? So what is the nature of root here? The nature of root is two distinct real roots. So here this is your next 2-marker quadratic equation question. How are we going to do it here? It's given find the roots of the following quadratic equations by the factorization method. Now they have specified factorization method means you cannot use here quadratic formula. So first write down whatever equation is given here. Now you know that in factorization you have to follow here splitting the middle term method, right? Splitting the middle term. Now what happened here? If I see the middle term, the sum has to be, when I'm solving this, it should be positive 5 root 2, and the So what should be the product here? If I'm taking here product, it should be minus 30, right? Because you have to multiply here the constant term and the coefficient of x square, which is minus 30. Now how to list the factor? Because your middle term is an irrational number. So instead, because when you list the factors of 30, you may have doubt, right? But you can do it here. It's 3 times 10, right? Then 4, 5 times 6. So how will you do it? If you see here 5 root 5, you know that the product is negative. That means one of the factor has to be positive, another factor has to be negative. But the sum should be positive, means the positive number should be greater. Now if you will see here, because I know that root 5 times root 5, it is 1, right? It is 5, right? The same number. So what can we do it here? Can I write down this as 6 root 5 minus root 5? This is, if you will see, the sum is 5 root 5, and the product, if I take 6 root 5 times minus root 5, it is going to be minus 30. Now these kind of question where your middle term is irrational number, you need little bit practice. So let us do it here. This part we are not going to use here. So how to do the splitting the middle term? I can take here 6 root 5x minus root 5x, which is 5 root 5x minus 10 is equals to 0. Now after that, you know you have to do grouping. Now what is the common factor between both the terms? First two terms 3x, and here it will be x plus 2 root 5, right? Now here what you will do here, because 10, one of the factor is 5, so which is 2 into 5, and here 5 must be written as root 5 square, because here your common factor is going to be root 5, because I need the first term as x, right? So x plus, now 2 is left here, so I write down 2, and square root of 5 whole square means 1 root 5 you have taken, so 1 root 5 is left. And how we are going to check here, what are you getting? Similarly, the same factor you need to get it to do the factorization. Now x plus 2 root 5 is the common factor, and we are left here with 3x minus root 5 is equals to 0, right? So what are going to be the roots here? Each value, because the product is 0, you are going to equate each value with 0. So your 0 is going to be here, or you can take it here, 3x minus root 5 is equals to 0, therefore x is minus 2 root 5, or here x is going to be root 5 by 3. You need to see that if any denominator, if you are getting it as irrational number, you have to do the rationalization also. So therefore what you can write on, conclude your answer here, roots are, there will be 2 roots minus 2 root 5 and root 5 by 3. These kind of factorization question will be always 2 marker. Let us go for the next question here. Question number 3. Now this is a 5 marker question, right? So you need to be careful, because if you do any mistake with the calculation in the middle with the or with the sign, the whole 5 marks you are going to lose somewhere, you will get only the partial mark. So what is given here? This is also the direct question. There are application based question, but here if you'll see, express the equation as a quadratic equation in standard form. Now if you will see, it's not looking like quadratic equation. So you need to do the simplification by finding the LCM, least common multiple, get the common denominator, and you need to convert it into ax square plus bx plus c equals to 0 form, because this is called quadratic equation form. Then after that you need to find out the roots using quadratic formula or using factorization. So let us see here, framing equation is the main part. So framing equation you will have 3 marker, finding roots you will have 2 marks. So let us start with the question here. First, you will always write down whatever the equation is given, and while copying the question, please do not do any mistake with the sign. So this is 10 by 3. Now first thing, because numerator denominator you see two terms, so put bracket here. Okay, and then how to get the common denominator? I'll do here cross multiplication will be the numerator, and the denominator will be product of denominator. So it will be x minus 2 times x minus 5 plus x minus 3 times x minus 4. right? And the denominator is going to be product of the denominator, which is x minus 3, x minus 5, which is equals to 10 by 3, right? Now continue here, you have to open the bracket, so you'll follow here. Which method here you are going to follow? Distributive property. X will get multiplied with both the terms, 3 will get multiplied with both the terms. So how will we do it here? I'm directly writing. If you have doubt, then you can do it here one by one. You can write down as one more term like this here, x minus 5. So you are making binomial multiplication as monomial into binomial because there is a plus sign in the middle. So you don't need to use another bracket. Directly you can write down x minus 4. Otherwise, distributing negative sign is more important. Now here it's positive into negative will be negative x minus 4, and denominator also you can simplify x times x minus 5 because x has to multiply with whole bracket, minus 3 has to multiply with this, equals to 10 by 3, right? Now continue here, open the bracket. How are you going to multiply? Again, distributive property, only you need to be careful when there is a minus sign outside, correct? So how are we going to do here? This is not minus, I was here. If I do it, open the bracket, x square minus 5x minus 2x plus 10. See, yeah, negative of negative will become positive, right? Then after that here, plus x square minus 4x minus 3x plus 12 will be there, and denominator will become x square minus 5x minus 3x plus 15 is equals to 10 by 3. Right, now add or subtract the like terms here. This is x square and x square will become 2x square. Then just add subtract based on like unlike like terms based on their sign, minus 7x, and here minus 7x, it will become minus 14x plus 22 by, here you can put the implied sign so that your terms, each term is differentiated here, right? X square minus 8x plus 15 equals to 10 by 3, right? Now here, what do we do here? I can, after this you got with 3 terms, I can do here cross multiplication to remove the denominator. So it will be 3 times 2x square minus 14x plus 22 equals to 10 times x square minus 8x plus 15, right? Here it's a very important part because it will carry here 3 marks. Now again you will use distributive property, and here 10 will distribute over all the 3 terms. So 6x square minus 42x plus 66 is equals to 10x square minus 80x plus 150. Now what I'll do it here, I do not want my x square coefficient as negative. So instead of transposing 10x square to LHS, I'll transpose everything to RHS, right? Or you get all the terms to one of the sides. So 10x square minus 80x plus 50 as it is, minus 6x square because I'm transposing all the terms to the other side. Now nothing is left, it will become, this side will become 0. I'm just rearranging this, correct? Because I have to get it ax square plus bx plus c is equals to 0 form. This is your standard form of the quadratic equation. Ax square plus bx plus c is 0, right? So let us see here what is there here. It will become 10x square minus 6x square will become here 4x square, then minus 80 plus 42x, right? So how much? There will be negative value. It will be here 38x because 80 is negative. You will carry forward here negative sign, right? Then here again you will do the subtraction here. 150 minus 66, you are going to get it as 84, which will be positive 84 is equals to 0. Now here if you will see, right, you are not with the simplest form of equation because your equation here, if you will see, is having a common factor 2. So let's take 2 common. It is 2x square minus 19x plus 42 is equals to 0. Now 2 can go to the denominator, it will become 0. Therefore, your equation is 2x square minus 19x plus 42 is equals to 0. This is right. This is the most important part, because if this part is wrong, then automatically your answer or finding roots will become here wrong, right? So this is your simplest form of the equation. Now after that, what the question says here, find out the roots. So always try to follow the factorization method. So what is the sum is there? It's a minus 19 because that's the middle term, and the product is constant terms into coefficient of x square, which is 2, so that is going to be 84. That means I have to list the factors of 84. So 1 times 84, 2 times 42. Is it divisible by 3? You can follow divisibility rule. Yes, so 3 times 2s are 6, 8s are 24, and it is divisible by this also. Now here if you will see 19, you can get it by doing 21 minus 4 is how much? 24. 1 minus 4, it is 17. We did not get 19. So we need to keep doing this, right? Then again here you have to, until unless you get a pair where adding or subtracting these two factors gives you here, these two factors give you here minus 19, you need to list all the possible factor. I can take 6 also. 6 times 6 ones are 4s are. So this is going to be here 20. Till now we did not get here 19. Yes. So how are we going to do it here? 7, is it divisible by 7? Yes. 7 ones are 7, 7 twos are. Now how to decide here? This is negative and this is positive. That means positive means it can be product of both the factors should be positive, means either both the factors should be positive or both the factors should be negative. But because the sum is negative, you know that the both must be negative. So the my product is positive 84 and the sum is minus 19. So we got here pair of both the factors. Decide the sign here only so that you don't go anywhere wrong. So how are you going to do it here? Splitting the middle term, I can do here minus 7x minus 12x, and you can cross check. If you see, this is becoming minus 19x, then here plus 42 is equals to 0. Now do the grouping part here. What is common? X is only common, 2x minus 7, and here you can take 2 common. If I take 2 common, it will be here 6x, but I need here 2x. So I can take here 6 common, minus 6 common factor, which will be 2x. And this positive will become negative because I am taking minus sign outside. Minus 7 is 0. So therefore, you are getting 2x minus 7 times x minus 6 is equals to 0. If you see, this is the factorized form and you equate here, therefore 2x minus 7 is 0 or x minus 6 is 0, because the product must be 0. So what are going to be the zeros here or roots here? 7 by 2 or 6, right? So these are the two solutions. So therefore roots are, you can conclude your answer here, roots are 6, and here what is the another one here? 6 or 7 by 2. This is your final answer. So this will give you here framing equation getting into standard form. Here till here you will have 3 marks, and solving this will have your 2 marks. Correct? Let us go for the next question. Now this is your next quadratic equation question. If you'll see, this is speed, distance, time based question, or anything speed, distance, time based question. It's very important. So what is the formula? Speed equals to distance by time. And most of the time in these kind of question you have to, because the time will be given, so you are going to use distance by speed. So let us see here what is given here. This is question number 4, which says a train travels a distance of 480 kilometers at a uniform speed. The speed, if the speed had been 8 kilometers per hour less, then it would have taken 3 hours more to cover the same distance. Find the speed of the train. Now here, how to differentiate between linear equation question and quadratic? Here there will be mostly one unknown. So first, speed of the train is unknown, so we will say, we'll assume that let x kilometer per hour be the speed, be the uniform speed of train, right? So uniform speed of train, right? Now, other than that, what is given here? Total distance is given here, distance to cover, distance, total distance to travel is given as 480 kilometer, right? Now here, what do I have here? How much time will it take? Because there are two speeds. One is the initial speed, which is x kilometer per hour, and then when the speed is less, then it takes 3 hours more, because automatically when speed is reducing, time taken will increase. So first thing you will write down here, because you have speed equals to distance by time, so time will be distance by speed. In this case, you already have here distance and you have here speed. So we are going to use distance by speed formula. So what you will write down here, time taken here, initial time also you can taken, right? Initial time taken to cover the distance when speed is distance with x kilometer, with speed x kilometer per hour, right? You need to mention that here. So what is going to be the time taken here? Distance is 480 kilometer. 480 kilometer by speed is x. So this is your first expression. Now here, if the speed is decreased, means because it's written here 8 kilometer per hour less the next one, the speed had been. So this is the another case. This is the first case. So here, what is your reduced speed here? Reduced speed will be, initially it was x kilometer, then it decreased by 8. So the new speed is going to be, decreased speed is going to be x minus 8 kilometer per hour. Now you will write on here, again you will write on time taken to cover the same distance, cover, because there's no change in distance, right? It is the same 480 kilometer. So cover the same distance with speed. What is the speed now? X minus 8 kilometer per hour is going to be equals to, here what is going to be this? Distance is 480 and the speed is x minus 8. Now you need to find out here if this is greater or this is greater, correct? You need to find out where the time will be more, because here it's nothing but you are getting the answer in hour. So you know that when the speed is less, time taken will be more. So you know that your value in 2 is greater than value in 1, because when your denominator is smaller, the whole value will be greater. When your small denominator x is greater than x minus 8, so you are dividing by the greater value, the whole fraction is going to be smaller. So, and what is the difference between this journey? It's taking 3 hours more. That means if I take here, I can write down here T1 and T2 also for your understanding. Time 1, time 2. So you know that time taken T2 is greater than T1. So what will be my equation? T2 is traveling, taking 3 hours more. So it can be minus T2 minus T1. The difference between the time these two traveled times is 3. This is the 3 hours, right? Because the train, when it's less, with less speed, taking 3 hours more. Now substitute the expressions here. 480 by x minus 8 minus 480 by x is equals to 3. Right now here you are already, you got one equation. You need to simplify this equation to get the standard form of quadratic equation, then you will do factorization to solve it. So let us start. First you will put bracket, because there are two terms, do cross multiplication. So 480x minus 480 times x minus 8 by product of the denominators is equals to 3, right? Make sure you don't do any calculation mistake here. 480x minus 480x plus, you will do 480 times 8, right? 480 times 8, which is going to give you here 3840, 3840 by x square minus 8x equals to 3. Now this whole value can transpose here. This and this gets cancelled. So you can write down here 3 times x square minus 8x and you will be left with 3840. Right, again open the bracket. Now can I divide this by 3 here? Yes, it's divisible by 3. So I can take here and I can divide by 3 to get the simplest form of the equation, because here already 3 can divide 3840 because the sum of digit it's coming 15. So x square minus 8x equals to 3 ones are 3, 3 twos are 6, 3 eights are 24 this. So you are getting x square minus 8x minus 1280 is equals to 0. So till here you are getting the simplest form of the equation, right? Now after that, what are you going to do it here to get the answer? You need to do the factor. Most of the time application based question you are able to do factorization. But here, so what should be the sum here? The middle term is nothing but minus 8, and the product, because the coefficient of x square is 1, it's minus 1240. How are you going to do it here? Now minus 1240, because it's a greater value, 4-digit number, it will be 2-digit by 2-digit. You can start it, but it's better if you follow here factorization method. What do we do in factorization method? I can take 640. How do we? I'm telling you how to get the factor using factorization method. So here 1 6 are, then 2 80s are, 2 40s are, then 20, then here 10, right? Then after that here 2 5s are and 5 1s are. Now my sum has to be minus 8. That means one has to be positive, another one will be negative. Then only you get product as negative, right? One of the factor must be positive, another factor must be negative. Now how to get the 8 means both numbers are not going to be small, very small, right? So what we'll do now, if you will see 1 2 3 4 5 6 7 8 9, there are 9 factors, right? 2 to the power here 2 4 6 7 8, 2 to the power 8 into 5, there are here different factors, right? 2 is coming 8 times, so total 5 is coming 1 time. So I have to combine so that it should be product of only 2 factors for middle term. So what I can do, 2 2s are 4, 2s are 8, 2s are 16, 2s are 32. If I take it here, right? Now 2 2s are 4, 2s are 8, 5s are 40. See, 40 times 32 is 1240, and if I put here negative and here positive, the sum is going to be minus 8. So it is x square. Then I can write down here plus 32x minus 40x. I'm taking 40 in the second place so that it's easy to divide 1280 by 40. Or anyways, it's a product. So you know that 1280 is the product. One number will give you another number. Now do the grouping. Take x common. X plus 32 minus 40 is common. It will be x plus. Because I'm taking factor 40, the other factor will be definitely 32. Right? Equals to 0. So x plus 32 times x minus 40 is 0. Therefore, here x plus 32 is equals to 0, or x minus 40 is equals to 0. Right? So what are going to be the two values here? X is minus 32 or 40. Now we have solved the equation, but x was the speed. So you need to write down here x cannot be minus 32 because speed cannot be negative. You need to mention this, okay? Cannot be negative. Now, if speed cannot be negative, that means what is the possible option here? Only, therefore, x is going to be equals to 40 kilometer per hour. So what is my answer? If you'll see here, we needed to find out here speed only, speed of the train. So you will conclude here answer as, therefore, speed of the train is 40 kilometer per hour. Here in a 5-marker question here, if I take this question, how are you going to solve it? Now this is your digit based question. How do you do it? A 2-digit number is 7 times the sum of its digits, right? And 2 more than 5 times the product of its digits. So whenever it's a 2-digit number, First, you have to define here. It's a two-digit number. If I take here ones place one of the digit, another tens place another digit, right? Find the number, we need to do it. So it can be linear equation or quadratic equation. We will just follow x and y. So let us take here the initially here x and y are the digits. So what you will write on here? Let ones place digit be. You need to mention that, okay? Here ones place digit be x, digit be x, and tens place digit be y. Tens place digit be y. Digit be y, right? Now a two-digit number is 7 times. So how do you form the number here? How do you frame the number? You know that here you follow here place value to find out the number, because they both are in the form of variable. You know that ones place digit will always get multiplied with 1 and tens place digit will get multiplied with 10. Like how do you write on here? If I'm having here 34, so you know that this is ones place, this is tens place. So how to write on with the place value form here? 3 times 10 plus 4 times 1, right? You can write on as a sum by taking its place value. So same concept will apply for the digit based question also. So y is in the tens place, so y will get multiplied with 10 plus x. So this is your original number, because what is written here? A two-digit number. That means 10y plus x is 7 times the sum of its digits. So what will be the first equation? What is given here? A two-digit number. Now a two-digit number is 10y plus x is means equals to sign 7 times sum of the digits. So what are the digits here? X plus y. So this is your first equation. Then again there are two unknown. That means you need to get another equation also. First you simplify this equation. Open the bracket. Plus x is equals to 7x plus 7y. Now get the x terms one side, y terms another side. So it can be here 10y minus 7y equals to 7x minus x. So we can write on here 6x is equals to 3y, and both side I can take here 3 as a common factor, right? This 3 can come here. So 3 ones are 3 twos are. So what are you getting? Y equals to 2x. Now here this is my first equation. We need one more equation to get the values of x and y. Now what is given here? Now the same two-digit number is 2 more than 5 times the product of its digits, right? So 2 more than means plus 2. 5 times the product. So what will be the product of digits xy? So the same number, which is this is your first equation. Then again, what is the given part? The same number is 2 more than, so this is plus 2. What is written here? 5 times the product of its digit. You are going to consider the same number, which is 10y plus x, right? 2 more than 5 times. So 2 more than 5 times product of its digits. Now how will you decide it's a linear equation or quadratic? Now the moment you see xy, the power will become 2, and when the degree is 2 of the equation, it is a quadratic equation. Now again simplify this also. You don't have any like terms to add or subtract, so this is your equation 2, right? Now what can we do here? We will always, whenever there is, this is linear equation, right? And this is your quadratic equation, because here power is 2 here, right? Whenever this is the combination, you always follow elimination method. So you write down here, substitute y from 1 to 2, equation 2. So what can we do here? I can write down here 10y plus x as it is equals to 5x as it is. Acha, we are substituting here y value. So left hand side also you can substitute, because y is here also, right? So 10 times 2x plus x equals to 5x times 2x plus 2, right? Now simplify this, we are getting here 20x plus x equals to 10x square plus 2, right? So 20x plus x is going to be, I can rearrange this as 2x equals to 21x, and you know that this is quadratic equation, should be written in ax square plus bx plus c equals to 0 form. So it will be 10x square minus 21x plus 2 is equals to 0. I have written in the form of any quadratic equation must be brought to this form so that you can follow factorization or the quadratic formula. Now how to get it here? The sum is minus 21 and the product is here 2 times 10, which is nothing but 20. That means I have to get the factors of 20. So list the factors of 20. 1 times 20, 2 times 10, then 4 times 5, 5 times 4 is repetition. You will stop here. Now to get the sum as negative, one of the value or both the value can be negative, but here the sum has to be positive, right? That means i I need to take the negative value. That means the both the values will be negative, and here if you see the first combination, I need sum as minus 21, product as plus 20. So split the middle term, 10x square minus 20x minus 1x or x plus 2 is 0. You can write on here 1x also. So you know that next two terms there is no common factor than 1. So it is 10x is common, x minus 2, and from here if you take minus 1 common, it will be x minus 2 equals to 0. Right here, then after that get the factorized form, x minus 2 times 10x minus 1 is equals to 0. So you can write on here x minus 2 is 0 or 10x minus 1 is equals to 0. Therefore, x equals to 2 or 1 by 10. Now, x and y are the digits, right? And digits are always the numbers 0 to 9. We cannot have fractional value. So here you will write down since x cannot be equals to 1 by 10 because here, or you can write on x cannot be this because the digit cannot be 1 by 10 fractional value, since digits can't be a fractional value. It's from fraction. It's from 0 to 9 any digit, right? So therefore, what is the value here? We are going to consider here x is equals to 2, right? Now x is 2 because we need to frame the number, we need to get y also, and from equation 1 we know y is equals to 2x, right? So from 1 you can write down y is equals to 2x, that means y will be equals to 4. So therefore, what is your number here? Number was yx, or you can multiply 4 with 10, which is 40 plus 2, it is going to be 42. Because it was ones and tens, x and y. So y place is 4 and here it is 2. So what is the number you are getting here? It's a 42. So this is your next quadratic equation. It's a 5-marker question. It says the sum of area of two squares is 52 centimeter square and the difference of their perimeter is 8 centimeter. Find the length of side of these two squares. So first let us just draw the square. So that here x and this as y centimeter. Right, you need to mention that which is greater, because here the difference of perimeter, the greater side perimeter will be larger than the perimeter of the smaller side, right? So let the sides of two squares be x centimeter and y centimeter respectively, where x is greater than y. You must mention this, right? Now this is definition is done. Then what is given here? You know that here the sum of area of these two squares is 52 square centimeter. So as per the given question here, what is given here? If you want, you can write down here area of square. It's not given, but you can write down the formula here if you want. Otherwise, directly also equation you can frame. Area of square is equals to s square, and the perimeter of square you can write down as 4s, right? So what is given here? area is going to be of side x will become x square, because it's written here sum of areas of two squares, so it will be x square plus y square is going to be 52, which is your first equation, and difference of their perimeters, right? So what else is given? If x centimeters is greater, so 4x minus 4y is equals to 8. Now in the second equation you can take here x4 common from x and y terms, so this is 8 and you can write on this as 2, right? So what is going to be your next equation here? X minus y is equals to 2 equation. Always remember, when there are two variables we need two equation to get the unique value. So these are the two value. Now again, because here if you see the highest power is 2, that means it is going to be not based on linear equation, this is based on quadratic equation. So we'll follow here substitution method, right? So you can write on here y equals to x minus 2, or I can substitute here x also. X will be equals to y plus 2. This is 3, right? Or this equation you can write on as 2. So your wish, so we can write on here, substitute here. You can substitute y also. I am taking here, substitute here x from 3 to 1, right? Now x square will be, we need to substitute x, so will it be y plus 2 whole square plus y square is equals to 52. Now we are having equation with one variable and we can solve it. So use your identity, a square plus a plus b whole square will be a square plus b square plus 2ab, so it's a 5 square plus 4y plus 4 plus y square, and I'll get 52 also to LHS to get the simplest form. Add subtract like terms based on its sign, so 2y square plus 4y minus 48 is 0. And what is the common factor? 2, right? You need to always get the simplest form of the equation. So y square plus 2y minus 24 is equals to 0. So y square plus 2y minus 24 is 0. Now you are reaching to already the quadratic equation. So framing reaching till quadratic equation will carry 3 marks, and then solving it again it will be 2 marker for any these kind of 5 marker questions. So this is your equation. Then again here sum is 2, product is minus 24. First list the factors of 24 here. So 2 times 12, 3 times 8, 4 times 6, and 6 times 4 it's a repetition. So out of this, because my sum should be plus 2 and the product should be minus 24, that means it will be positive one value and negative one value, then only product can be negative. So look at here, in which case you will get 2 here, this one. So here it will be plus 6 minus 4, which is going to be minus 24, and the sum is going to be plus 2. So do splitting middle term here after this. How are we going to do it here? It is y square minus 4y plus 6y minus 24 is 0, and you can always cross check whether you are getting plus 2y or not. So y is common, and then plus 6, y minus 4 is 0, so you can take it here, y minus 4 times y plus 6 is 0. Now the product is 0 means either one value can be 0 here, y minus 4 is 0, or y plus 6 is 0. So what do we get here? Y equals to 4 or minus 6. Now here again, because we are talking the length of the side, because x and y are length of the side, it can't be negative, right? So we'll write on here y cannot be equals to minus 6, because the length of or side of a square, because the length of the side means it is the side only, right? So the side of a square cannot be negative, can't be negative, right? So what is the value we are going to consider? Therefore y is equals to 4 centimeter, this is the value. And from equation 1 or 2, I am taking here, what is the equation? We can take it here 3, because x is y plus 2, right? So from 3 you can write down, from 3 X is y plus 2. So what is going to be the value of x? It is going to be 6 centimeter. This is your next question. Again, this is based on cistern, pipes, filling water. It's again very important question, and these kind of question I have seen student having doubt also. But understand the logic, then it will be easy. What is written here? Two pipes together can fill a tank in 15 by 8 hours. If the pipe with larger diameter takes 2 hours less than the pipe with the smaller diameter. Now, anyways, you know that if it is diameter means this is a pipe in cylindrical shape, and if the diameter is more, it's going to take the less time to fill any of the tank, right? What do we need to find out? Find the time in which each pipe can fill the tank separately. So we are talking about here one whole tank needs to be filled. Now these kind of question you always follow unitary method. You need to find out how much water will be filled in 1 hour. So first thing, I don't know how much time it's going to take it. So first let us take here, let the smaller pipe takes, let the smaller pipe takes takes x hours to fill the whole tanks, x star to fill the tank, right? Then here, how much time will the larger diameter, larger, smaller pipe means smaller diameter pipe, okay? So you can mention here smaller diameter pipe. Similarly here, and the larger diameter pipe, and then the you can write down, because already the larger is depending upon the smaller diameter pipe. So then the larger diameter pipe will take how many hours to fill? Because it is 2 hours less than. So if total is x hours, it's going to will take here x minus 2 hours to fill the whole tank, right? To fill the tank. So this is whole tank, whole time, how much time, total time taken. So I told you here we will always get it for 1 hour. So how much water will be filled in 1 hour, right? How much part of water will be filled in 1 hour. So what you will write down here, water filled in 1 hour by smaller diameter pipe will be smaller diameter pipe is going to be equals to here 1 by x part of the whole tank will be filled. This is very important part. Similarly here, water filled in 1 hour by larger diameter pipe, right? So it is larger diameter will be 1 by x minus 2 part, right? Because it's only one equation. Now this is if both the pipes are open, because if you see here two pipes together, so when they both are open, what is going to be the water filled by both here in 1 hour? Water filled in 1 hour by both the pipes, right? By both the pipes. So whenever both the pipes are open, that means 1 by x plus 1 by x minus 2, this much part will be filled in 1 hour. Now because we are taking 1 hour, and what is the total time taken here? Total time is 15 by 8 hour, right? So total time taken when they both are open, it is total time taken is here, what is there, 15 by 8 hours, right? So it is more than 1 hour, right? So it is 15 by 8 hours. So water will be filled in 1 hour will be, so water filled in 1 hour, because everything you are going to take it as 1 hour, then only you can equate. So it will be 8 by 15 because you are taking reciprocal. So how the equation will be framed when both the taps are open means 1 by x plus 1 by x minus 2 part, and this is also, it is going to be the whole tank 8 by 15th part is filled. So it is going to be 8 by 15. Now you got here the equation, you need to get the simplest form of the equation. take it here, find out the LCM. It will be x square minus 2x is equals to 8 by 15. I have directly opened the bracket. Now if you'll do the simplification, 2x minus 2 by x square minus 2x is 8 by 15. Then you can do cross multiplication here. How can we do it here? 15 times 2x, or I can write down, because I need x squared terms to the LHS, I can write down here 8 times x square. First I'm taking this part, then I can take this part. X square minus 2x equals to 15 times, because it's equation I can just rearrange, I'm not doing transposition. So 8x square minus 16x equals to 30x minus 30. Do the transposition, make sure you don't do any calculation mistake here, because any calculation mistake you won't be able to factorize the equation should not be wrong, right? Then this one will become minus 46x plus 30 is equals to 0. Now here 2 is the common factor. To get the simplest form of equation, we will do this is equals to 0. Now this can go by 2, which will become 0. So what is your equation? 4x square minus 23x plus 15 is equals to 0. Now again, if you see, this is nothing but a quadratic equation. And how are we going to solve here? Again, using factorization you can do it here, because if you'll follow the factorization method, all the most of the application based question you can do follow factorization method. So what should be the sum here? It is, sum should be minus 23, which is a prime number, and product should be, you have to multiply 4 times 15, which is 60. Now just list the factors here: 1 times 60, 2 times 30, and you need to keep seeing when you are going to get minus 23. Here only you are getting 2 times 30. Whenever you get here 3 times 20. Now here if you'll see, you already got it, 23, 20 and 3. So both will be negative, because I need minus 23 and positive 60. So expand now here, do the splitting the middle term, expand your equation. 4x square minus 3x minus 20x plus 15 is equals to 0. Then you can do grouping here. X is common, 4x minus 3 minus 5 is common, 4x minus 3, because I took minus sign outside, this positive will become here negative. So what is the factorized form? 4x minus 3 times x minus 5 is equals to 0. So what are going to be the two solutions? Therefore x is 5 or 3 by 4. Now one of the value will not be possible, because how much time was taking here? XR and x minus 2. Now if I consider here x value as 3 by 4, you will get a negative value, which is not possible. So you will write down here x cannot be equals to 3 by 4, otherwise you can write down here, otherwise x minus 2 will be less than 0, and less than 0 means time cannot be negative. Therefore what value you are going to consider here? Therefore x equals to 5. And what have we taken here? X hours takes x hours, the smaller pipe takes x hours and the larger pipe takes x minus 2 hours. And what do we need to find out here? How much time each tap or pipe is taking to fill the whole tank. So therefore n smaller diameter pipe, smaller pipe takes 5 hours, and the larger diameter pipe takes 5 minus. So this is your question number 8. Now if you will see, this is not a word problem, right? This is, it's given, find the value of p for which the quadratic equation given as, so what is your quadratic equation? P plus 4 x square, so your x square coefficient is p plus 4 minus p plus 1 x plus 1 is 0, has real and equal roots. Now how do we take if it's a real or equal roots? You know that it's a nature of root. You are going to take b square minus 4ac is equals to 0, and first you will get the value of p using that. Then also find the roots means I need to get quadratic equation by substituting their value of P. So let us start here. What we'll write down here, what is the value of A here? Coefficient of x square is P plus 4. Coefficient of x is minus P plus 1 in the bracket, and C is 1. Now here, since it has real and equal roots, so you know that what is the rule here? D, which is b square minus 4ac, will be equals to 0. That means you need to frame equation using this. So what is your b? Minus, please do not open the bracket, because when you will take whole square, this is nothing but minus 1, it will become positive. Minus 4 times c is 1 only, so it's only p plus 4 is equals to 0. Right, now simplify the bracket. Now minus 1 whole square is positive 1, so it will be p plus 1 whole square only, minus 4p minus 16 is equals to 0. Now use a plus b whole square, p square plus 2p plus 1 minus 4p minus 16 is equals to 0. And if I do the simplification here, it will become p square minus 2p minus 15 is 0. Again, I have to get the value of p, so I have to do split the middle term where the product is minus 15, and we can take here 3 times 5. One of the values should be negative because product is here negative. So I'll do minus 5 plus 3 because middle term is minus 2p. So it will be p square plus 3p minus 5p minus 15 is 0. And if I do here grouping, p is common, p plus 3 minus 5, p plus 3, which is equals to 0. So what is your factorized form? P plus 3 times p minus 5 is equals to 0. Now the moment you have this means, again, therefore there are two possible values. P can be 5 or minus 3, right? So again, because there are two, this is just the equation, not the real life application, so you need to frame equation 2 times, right? So here let me take this equation here. What is the equation given? If I take it, because we need to use this equation to substitute p, right? So let me take here. So you need to get 2 times equation. If p is 5, so what are you going to get the equation? And there will be again two solutions. And when you will substitute p as minus 3, then also you'll get two solutions. So substitute here, your equation will become 5 plus 4, because I have to substitute here, right? It is become here 5 plus 4. I'm just writing so you know, don't do mistake here, okay? 5 plus 1x plus 1 is 0. Right, so here it is nothing but 9x square minus 6x plus 1 is 0. So again your product is 9, it will be 3 times 3, right? 3 times 3, and both will be negative because we need to get here minus 6. Or you can write down this is 3x minus 1 whole square, two equal roots, right? Two equal roots means both the roots are going to be equal. So 9x square minus 3x minus 3x. If you remember the identity, you can use directly identity also, a minus b whole square. So 3x minus 1 is common, 3x minus 1, and if you'll see, it is 3x minus 1 times 3x minus 1. So what are the two roots? If you will see, because it's a two equal roots, right? In the starting only it was given the equation is going to give two equal roots. So therefore here x is going to be 1 by 3 or 1 by 3, right? That means two equal roots, 1 by 3 comma 1 by 3. Similarly, what is the other value of p? Minus 3, right? So p value is again, now again you will write down here, if p is minus 3, then what is going to be your equation here? Let us take this equation down so we can use it here. This means you need to substitute p as minus 3, right? So I can write down here minus 3 plus 4, and here x square minus 3 plus 1. You just need to be careful with the sign, correct? So here it is x square, then minus 3 plus 1 is going to be minus 2, and minus 2 into minus, it's going to be positive 2x plus 1 is 0. This is nothing but a plus b whole square, or if you know that product is 1, So it will be plus x plus x plus 1 if you want to do splitting the middle term. So it's a x plus 1 plus 1 x plus 1 is equals to 0. So your factorized form is x plus 1 times x plus 1 is 0. That means what are the two possible values here? X is minus 1 or minus 1, right? So you got the two roots in all the cases here. So what are the roots here? 1 by 3, 1 by 3 here. So we can write on therefore roots are here 1 by 3 comma 1 by 3 and minus 1 comma minus 1 for p, which is p equals to, first one will write on this, and p is equals to minus 3 respectively, because you are having here two values of p, so that's why you are getting two sets of solution, right? Let us go for the next question here. So this is your ninth question. If you will see here, speed of a boat in still water is 15 kilometer per hour if it goes 30 kilometer upstream and returns back, means it's a downstream at the same point in 4 hours 30 minutes. Find the speed of stream. Now this is upstream downstream question. This is also again very important, because you need to understand now what happens here. If you will write down here what is given here, speed of boat in still water, right? So in still water is nothing but it's given 15 kilometer per hour, right? So this is given. Now you should know that then always there is a current or the speed of stream also, because water is flowing, right? So water is flowing. If you are going towards the stream direction, your speed will automatically increase. If you are going against the speed direction, then your speed is going to slow down, because you are going again. Similarly, if you are going up hills, you will walk slow. If you are going down hills, you will walk fast, because there the wind speed helps you. Here, because you are in the water, so there is always speed of water also. So what we need to find out here, speed of water, speed of stream, or speed of current, it's same thing. But you should remember the boat speed. This logic you have to remember, boat speed is always going to be greater than stream speed, otherwise boat cannot move forward, right? This logic you have to remember. Now what do I need to find out? Speed of stream. So we will write on here, we'll start with, let the speed of stream be x kilometer per hour, right? Now I don't know, because again this is speed, distance, time, and we need to get it in terms of time, because time is distance by speed, and we are having distance 30 kilometer, you need to go up, and 30 kilometer you need to come back, and speed is also known. So we will frame the equation based on time, right? So but how will you get to know, because the speed is going to change. The boat speed will be different in still water and when there is a stream, correct? So how much is the total distance? You need to take it here. Total distance is going 30 kilometer, coming back 30 kilometer. Then you need to find out here, because if 15 kilometer per hour is boat speed in still water and speed of stream is x kilometer per hour, you need to find out here speed upstream. Remember, whenever you are going against, you are going up, speed will slow down. How much will it slow down? What is going to be that? It is based on speed of stream. So it will become 15 minus x will be the speed in upstream, and what is going to be the speed downstream? Downstream means you are going down automatically. As per logic, the speed is going to increase. So increase means you are going to add. How much increase is there? Same as speed of stream. So first you need to get these two speeds, because we cannot use 15 kilometer per hour, right? There will be change in speed. Now what you need to find out here, what is, how much time will go to upstream and how much time will it take to come downstream, right? Because the distance is same. So you write down here time taken to go 30 kilometer upstream. right? And if I write down this as T1 so that it's easy to understand. Now you know that here you can write down formula also, time equals to distance by speed. Your equation will be based on time, right? Because 4 hours 30 minutes it's a given. So what is given here? Time taken to go 30 kilometer upstream is going to be 30 by upstream. What is the speed? 15 minus x. This is your T1. Similarly here, time taken to go here downstream here, what, how much time will be there? The speed will change, distance is going to be same because it's coming back to the same place. So to go 30 kilometer, it will be downstream, right? So this logic upstream downstream, if I take it as T2, it's going to be the same distance, but now my speed is going to be here. If I take, it's 30 by 15 plus x, this is in hours because this is time. Now what will happen? You need to compare T1 will be greater or T2 will be greater, because base this difference of time is going to be 4 hours 30 minutes. See, it's taking time. The difference of both time is going to be 4 hours 30 minutes. So if you want to know this, when the speed is less 15 minus x, it's going to take here more time. Here speed is more, it is going to be less time, right? Here speed is less, it's going to take more time, right? Or you are dividing by the smaller value, whole fraction is greater. If you are dividing by the greater value, 15 plus x is greater than 15 minus x, you will get the smaller value. So by seeing this, because speed is smaller, time will be more. T1 is greater than T2, right? Going upstream will always take more time than going downstream. So, and how my equation will be there, because how much it's taking here? 4 hours time taken is total time taken is, you need to convert it because everything is in hour, right? So you need to convert this into 4 hour 30 minutes. This 30 minutes you can convert it into hours. So 4 hours 30 by 60 hours total. You can divide 30, which is nothing but 4.5 hours, which can be written as 9 by 2 hours. So how my equation will be framed? So here you know that the total time taken you have converted into hours, number of hours. So it is 9 by 2 hours. Now after that, what is given in the question here? It says here it is going upstream and returning back, and the total time taken is 4 hours 30 minutes. That means here T1 is upstream time and T2 is downstream time. So all together it is taking here 9 by 2 hours. How are you going to simplify? Substitute the value here, 30 by 15 minus x plus 30 by 15 plus x, right, is equals to 9 by 2. Now again there are two terms, you can put the bracket, do cross multiplication to get the LCM here. So it will become 30 times 15 plus x plus 30 times 15 minus x. By product of denominator is in the a minus b, a plus b form. So it will become a square minus b square is equals to here 9 by 2. Right, now open, use the distributive property to open the bracket. It will become 450 plus 30x plus 450 minus 30x, and 15 square is 225 minus x square is equals to 9 by 2. Now if you see here, what will happen? 30x and 30x is going to get cancelled here, and we are left with 900 by 225 minus x square, right? Put it in the bracket. You can do here one more thing here. Whenever there are common values both in the numerator, you can cancel 9 ones are 9 hundreds are to get the simplest form. Now after this you can do cross multiplication. It will become 1 time 225 minus x square is equals to 200, right? And if I get the simplest form, it will be x square. This is we are not having any x term left, right? So that means you are going to get the factorized form directly, right? Here there's no x term, so I can do it here. This one, it's minus x square plus 225 equals to 200, and I need here what can we do here? Minus x square is equals to minus 25. If I do 200 minus 225, right, which is going to be minus 25, negative negative gets cancelled, and x will be positive negative 25, which is plus minus 5. Right now, x was nothing but kilometer per hour, if you remember. Right now, what can we write down here? X cannot be negative because what cannot be negative here? Speed cannot be negative. We can't have a negative value for speed, right? Be negative. Therefore, what is going to be the speed of the stream here? Therefore, speed of the stream is speed of the stream is 5 kilometer per hour. This is your case study question where you have to frame equation, and it while designing the school yearbook, a teacher asked the student that the length and width of the particular photo is increased by x unit. Now if you see that this is the school photo, 12 centimeter, 18 centimeter. Now here it is increased by x, this side also it is increased by x, so it is the uniform increase, right? Then double, what will happen here if teacher asks the length and width of the particular photo is increased by x units, each to double the area of the photo. The original photo is 18 centimeter long and 12 centimeter wide. X term first, so it is going to be x plus 12. Similarly here, width also increased by x, and width original here, this is length, this is here, if this I take it as breadth, this is length, so length is increased by x, with that means here x plus 18, right, centimeter. So what is going to be the new one here? You can write down, start with the first one, and if you are doing this, the area is becoming double. So what was the original area? 12 times 18. That will become 2 times 12 times 18. So how will you do it here? You can take here length as first part here. Length will be x plus 18 centimeter, and breadth has become x plus 12 centimeter. So what is going to be the area? Area of a rectangle is L into B, right, equals to L into B. So you will have equation as x plus 18 times x plus 12 will be double of original area, which is 18 times 12, right? Now we need to, this is just depicting this, then write the corresponding quadratic equation in standard form. So first bit you are just writing this whatever is given in the question. Second part, for one marker to write down the standard form, that means you need to get the quadratic equation in ax square plus b plus c equals to 0 form. So start simplifying this here. What will happen? X times x plus 12 times x, here it's not x times, here it will be x plus 12, then plus 18 times x plus 12, right, because we are using here distributive property. So it will be, how are we going to take it here? Plus 18 times x plus 12. Now you can multiply here 18 times 12 times 2 is going to be 432. So I am writing here 432. Right? Get the simplest form of equation, x square plus 12x plus 18x plus here 18 times 12. What are you going to get? 18 times 12, 216, minus 432 is equal to 0. Right? So what will be a standard form of equation? Plus 30x, and if I do here minus 432, you'll get it as minus 216. So minus 216 is 0. So this is your standard form of the quadratic equation, right? Now after that, in the third bit, what is written here? What should be the new dimension of the enlarged photo? Right, so we need to find out here. First bit, enlarged photo means we need to get the value of x. Now you need to get the value of x, you need to factorize. So what is the product here? Minus 216. So list all the factors. 108, then it's divisible by 3 also. 3 sevens are 2s are 4 also, 4 5s are 4s are. We need to get 30, that means we need to take more values. Then 6 6 3s are 18, then 6 are, see we are getting this combination as 30. What do I need to take it here? This is because product is negative, one value will be positive, another will be negative. So this will be plus 36 minus 6, right? So do the splitting the middle term. It will be here x square minus 6x plus 30x minus 216 is equals to 0, right? Now here if I take it, x is common, x minus 6. So what are we going to be the factor here if I take here? 36, it's not coming, right? Plus this is 36, right? This is 36x. So we'll have here 36x minus 6, right? 36 times 6 is 216. So I can take it. X minus 6 times x plus 36 is equals to 0. So therefore here x is 6 or minus 36. Now the length is increased. The value cannot be negative, right? Because if you take minus 36, when you are taking 18 plus x, it will become a negative value. So that is not possible. So you write down x cannot be minus 36 because length or breadth can't be negative, right? This you need to mention. Then therefore here, therefore x is going to be 6 centimeter. So do we need to find out here new dimension or just the width here? You need to check here what should be the dimensions you are asking. So therefore here the new dimensions are going to be here. New dimensions will be, length will be equals to x plus 18, so that is going to be here equals to 24 centimeter, right? And breadth was, it was x plus 12. If you'll see here, x plus 12, so you are going to add here 6 in 12, x plus 12, that is going to be 18 centimeters. So this one was your new dimension, which is going to be 24 by 18 centimeter, right? Other than that, what is given in orbit? Can any rational value of x make the new area equals to 220 square centimeter? How are you going to check, right? This means here, if I take this value orbit, if I'm taking, because see it's little bit different question. That means what is the area using this? The new area should be 220 square centimeters. So what was the new dimensions here? X plus 18 times here x plus 12 should be equals to 220. Again you have to get the simplest form here. So x square plus 12x plus 18x, and what was 18 times here 12, 216. So plus 216 minus 220 is 0, right? X square plus, what is your equation? Again I am getting another quadratic equation, minus 4 is equals to 0. Now the question was, is there any rational number, right, which is going to make this value area as x value, which is going to make 220 centimeters square. Now what happened, you can check that when do you get a rational number? When you see the quadratic formula, right? It's a b square minus 4ac by 2a. Now until unless your discriminant is a perfect square, this has to be a perfect square, otherwise this value is going to be any rational number. So let us here see here b square minus 4ac. What is the value here? B square is 30 square minus 4 times 1 times minus 4, right? Which is 900 plus 16. And 916, if you check, it is not a perfect square, right? So you will write down here, since 916 is not a perfect square, because 30 square is your 900 and 31 square is 961. Next, after 900, 961 is the perfect square, is not a perfect square. Perfect square. So you know that here root b square minus 4ac, which will be root 1 916, is going to be an irrational number, right? So here your real numbers topic is integrated. is an irrational number. Now, anything if you add irrational number to or divide by irrational number, you always get an irrational number, right? So, therefore, thus we cannot have any such value of x where the area is 220, right? Therefore, we cannot have any rational value. They can be irrational number, non-terminating, non-recurring decimal. Cannot have any rational number of x for which area is equals to or area is 220 square centimeter. So hope you don't lose any marks. So all the best for your exam.
Thank you for watching this video. Please like, share and subscribe. Also, keep practicing.